Okay, you're rolling.
Oh, okay. So are we on video or are we
video?
Oh, video too. Okay.
So I can see.
Okay. So let's see. Tritone. You want to first of all become familiar with the tritone shapes between the adjacent string sets. So, like for instance, on the top string, I'll just use the note. Let me use E here. Okay, and this. That's your tritone. Okay, and that's pretty consistent on all the strings, except between the G and the B string is this. Okay, and then back to here, here, and here, and then you'll see some common shapes. Like for instance, the D7 chord. Here's the tritone. Right, so you can move that all around. Between these two strings, here's the tritone. That would be part of this C7 chord. Here's the B flat E. Okay, and then we'd have this, like this F and B here. That would be part of this, or it's inside of this chord here. And then when you get on the lower strings, it's more for effect. Like you're getting that bassy. A bass player might do something like a for E7. Okay, so that's the tritone on adjacent strings. Now, when you have a tritone shape, I'll go back to this E and B flat. The tritone represents two different chords, and if you want to know what the root of the chord is, you just go a whole step above either of these tones. So above the E is F sharp, and above this is a C. So this is an F sharp 7 chord, and it's also a C7 chord. Okay, and then the reverse, like a mirrored way of looking at that is you're looking for a chord like C7. So you can find a C anywhere on the fretboard. Like for instance, I'll take this one right here. Okay, and then I just go back 2 frets, make a tritone, and I've got C7. So there I am, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, and what was I going to say? For F sharp 7, I'll do another one. I don't know. Here's an F sharp. Okay, and so I move back a whole step. There's my tritone. Okay, now, so you can hear this with a bass note. I'm going to play an E and a B flat here, or A sharp. Okay, and so the names of this shape are F sharp, because that's a whole step, and C. Right? Mm-hmm. And so now I'll put in the bass note underneath these. If I put an F sharp under here, I get this. And then after I have this, then I can go and add 13s or sharp 5s or whatever, on both strings.
Okay.
And anyway, so I took this, I put an F sharp. Here's the same tritone, but I put the C in the bass. And so there we go. Mm-hmm. So now we have a C7, and back here, if I put this note on top, it's the 13. But if I do it here, it becomes the sharp 9. So that kind of stuff comes into play a little bit. Or you could say if one of the chords is a non-altered chord, the other one's going to be altered. Okay, now let's take that one step further. I'm going to come here and I'll play a G and a C sharp. And I'm going to call this A7. Okay, now I want to go to a D7 chord. Well, I see this D right here on the G string. So I think, oh, there's the D. I want a D7 chord, so there's my tritone. Mm-hmm. And so this is a big thing on guitar is you have these progressions that might go A7, D7, G7, C7. Becomes so the tritone moves down in half steps, but the bass could be moving in half steps, but it could also be going
right,
and so forth.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so that's why in a blues, like when G blues, A7, the tritone's just moving down half step. Here it is again.
Cool. Okay.
Okay, and then the last part of the tritone stuff is that the more you can become familiar with the tritone shape on non-adjacent strings, all of a sudden the guitar just explodes with these really nice colorful chords, because you can add tones not just above the tritone, but like in the middle and in between, and it kind of sounds cool. So I would start out maybe with this one here. Here's your G and C sharp, adjacent strings. I'll take this C sharp and move it to the B string, and now I get this. And now it's just a matter of, you know, you become the arranger and decide, well, I have all of these notes available to add to an A7 chord. So here's your root, flat 9, 9. Probably wouldn't put the sharp 9 here because then it would be underneath the third instead of above it. So, but now over here I'm going to put an F sharp on top. So here's an A bass, tritone. I'm going to add a 9 and a 13, and I have a nice A7 chord. And then I put that into context. I'll have, here's E minor 9 to the A13, flat it, flat the 9, 2, 5, 1. I did that. I did the wrong. I made it a sus. Okay,
It sounded good though.
All right. So non-adjacent. Just review that, and then we'll move on. Non-adjacent. So here's A, and the E flat would be over here. It's a little weird. Don't use this too much. Here's the D, and the A flat would be over here. You might get it. Here's the G and the C sharp. That's the one we were just talking about. And then here's a C and an F sharp. This one I use a lot. Like I put an E in there, put a D in the bass, D9, D7 flat 9,
Cool.
and so forth.
Got it.
So that's it.